guys, and welcome to the fish room. I'm Rachel O'Leary, and I am plugging away down here installing some new equipment in the fish room. As I told you last week when I added the shark pump to the 55-gallon honeycomb aquarium, I got several new pumps sent to me for free by Sicce, an Italian company who's known for its really great quality. And today I'm going to install a few into the big boys tank in order to increase the circulation in there. That tank is also filtered by FX5s, and while they do a great job sucking out all the poop and stuff, that because it's plumbed from the bottom, it doesn't do a great job of providing any surface movement. And one of the things that I really need to do in that aquarium is make sure that there's enough oxygen content. Even though those fish don't require it, it helps with water clarity. It helps make sure that all the debris, detritus, and feces get pushed to the filter intakes. And I'm hoping it's really going to make some neat movement of the plants and algae in that aquarium. So when Steve, who's the Sicce rep, came here to visit the fish room, he recommended that I utilize these big boys, these Voyager stream pumps in the big boys aquarium in order to just you can move them up to 360 degrees, so I'll be able to place them on the aquarium and direct the stream to areas that otherwise don't have much flow in the bottom of the aquarium. And I'm pretty excited to try that because that aquarium does have a few spots where just stuff accumulates that has bothered me since I set up the aquarium. And these have a 3-year warranty, which is pretty darn good. And it looks like this one is the 4000 US GPH, which is pretty good. It's for up to 264 or 528 US gallons. This is the HP10. I've never used any of these pumps, and again, full disclosure, they were sent to me, but it's because I chose this company for their quality, their guarantee, and how much I actually like the people involved with the company. So again, I'm going to go ahead and install these onto the big boys tank, and we'll take a look and see what difference it makes. You attach it to the glass with a pretty strong powered magnet. It comes disassembled like this. All you have to do is install a couple of screws. So I'm going to put these on there and aim them towards the bottom. Because only this small cord will have to fit through the glass, it shouldn't be any issue as far as providing an open space for fish to jump, as we've learned that they will. Let's go ahead and throw them on the tank. So this is the big boys tank, as you guys have seen before. It's filtered by 2 FX5s and an AC 110, which is a hang-on back over there. And the only reason I have the hang-on back on this aquarium is for that surface movement. Otherwise, the aquarium is plumbed on the bottom, and you can see that there's movement down here. And then you can see by the returns there's good movement in the bottom level of this aquarium, but there's very little in that midsection. So one of the things I want to do is make sure that all of the accumulated waste or plant material is driven over to these intakes that are in the bottom of the aquarium. Now this aquarium is one that I got for free, and it was previously a saltwater setup, and it had corner overflows, and that's why it was all drilled like this, and I just went with it for these guys. Again, these guys don't have particularly big oxygen needs, but they are heavy waste producers because they're large predatory fish. I like to say that they poop Lincoln logs. So I really want this aquarium to, be more streamlined in its filtration. And the pump that I have in there is way undersized for this aquarium. But again, I just added it in for some movement on this side of the aquarium. This Sicce pump's going to be a wonderful upgrade for an otherwise anemic pump for this aquarium. Now, I do have power run underneath this aquarium. I have a box that sits inside the stand, or I have a box up above, but I'm probably going to run the cord into the bottom of the tank stand with a drip loop just because it'll look a little cleaner. While I'm installing this, I'm going to go ahead and do a water change and drop the water line just so that when the lids are open, there's a bit more space between the fish and the outside world. I might be a little bit paranoid from that gar jumping. Now, a bunch of you suggested that you thought that the gars had jumped and hit the lids and that's how they got out, but I can tell you that I really don't think that's the case, simply because I have a difficult time moving these lids and they're extremely heavy and pretty darn thick. This guy likes to bite me despite his defect, so I'm going to wait until he moves to the other side of the aquarium to even open this lid, because he's a bit of a jerk. Easy boy, it's all right. As I look in this aquarium, I can see just a bit of like dusty dirt stuck on all the driftwood, which is what I want to get rid of. Now everything and every time I work in this aquarium, I go really slow because I don't want to startle the gars. Get out of here. You can see he's nosy. Now this aquarium does get weekly water changes. I do allow a lot of algae to grow on the back glass in particular and the ends of the aquariums. Every once in a while I do come through like this and just give it a brief cleaning. Mainly so I can visualize inside the aquarium. Go away. Go away. You're mean. One problem is trying to move that thing with this guy who's stalking me. I'm not sure if you can see or not, but they have rows of razor sharp teeth. So I don't really want to encounter that. Now I want to position this pump so that I don't have to unplug it during water changes, so I'm probably going to drop it a bit more and change the angle so that it comes across this wood. But again, I have to wait for this little asshat to move. So I went ahead and plugged it in. You can already see it is stirring up all the fine particulate stuff that's been collecting on this driftwood, so I'm pretty hopeful that it's going to do awesome things for this aquarium. Now I'm also going to install one on this side going this way, but I think I'm going to have to move this giant chunk of bulbitis in order to do so. I'm going to go ahead and stop draining the aquarium just so I don't freak the fish out further. And we will see how this goes and check back in after the filter has done its job to clear things up. So this is the next day. You can see there's quite a bit more flow. All the driftwood and the plant matter and algae on the driftwood is flowing beautifully in the new current. Oh, by the way, I took your guys' suggestion and I named this gar Houdini. So it is now my third fish with a name. I think I'm going to hold off for now on adding the second pump just to let these guys adjust. They didn't particularly like me messing around in their tank yesterday, and in order to install the second pump on this side, I'm going to have to move this big piece of wood with plant, which, as we can see, has a poly in it currently. They do like to hang over there, so what I think I might try and do is move this entire piece this way, but what I worry about then is it being too crowded. So I'm gonna have to figure that out, but I think it's pretty cool seeing this Physidens flapping in the breeze, and all those little bubbles are just air bubbles because the aeration in this aquarium has been increased so much from this big pump. The water clarity is way better. The bottom glass has no accumulated anything anymore, which I'm very, very pleased with. It allows the Fluval FX5s, the big canisters on this aquarium, to do their job so much better. So all in all, I think it's a pretty good success. Now, I'll keep you guys posted on how I like this product long term, and also if I'm going to add the second one. Initially, I was a little concerned that the amount of flow in the aquarium may make the gars unhappy because they like things pretty still, but as you can see, they are doing their wiggle feed me dance, so they're certainly not upset. I do want to feed this aquarium real quick just to see what the pump does with the food. The last one I had in there really caused some issues with sucking up the food, and supposedly this one's not supposed to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and drop some pellets in for them. You can see how excited they get. And these are just food sticks for predatory fish. They're a little bit small for these fish, but they're one of the larger things available on the market. I'm kind of limited in what is available to feed them, which is why I feed krill so much, as well as frozen market shrimp and fish fillet and things like that. But it's nice to be able to have a dry food to offer them. And so far I can tell that the pump, instead of sucking the food in, is blowing it across the water surface, which is really what we want in this aquarium. That way it's just not creating more dissolved gunk in the water column. Anyway, I'd love to hear from you guys. Do you think I should install that second pump on the right side? Do you think I should wait a bit with these guys and see how they do? I mean, clearly they're not, that gar's so cute. Clearly they're not at all negatively impacted by the big increase in flow. I like this pump because the guards on it are really nice. The fish fins can't possibly be sucked in. It's not sucking up the food, and again, it has a minimum 3-year warranty, which is just great. But as always, you know, give me your opinions. As always, thanks for your continued support. Please make sure you're subscribed with that notification bell on. As always, I have tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of projects going on in the fish room. So I enjoy sharing them with you, and I hope you'll see me in the next one. By the way, that sound, that water slap that the big gar just did, is what I heard the day the little gar jumped out, and why I didn't react at all. I mean, these guys just, they make a lot of noise. That one actually splashed water out of the aquarium.